Kathy O'Connor came to my door the next morning and stared sullenly at me. "Do you want to make up?" I shrugged. "Okay." I came outside and we sat on the grass in front of my house to discuss what we might do next. Kathy wanted to play the Barbie game, but I thought this could easily lead to trouble. The object of the game was to win the handsome Kin as your date to the prom. The problem was that I preferred the bespectacled Tom, who I assumed was vastly more intelligent than Kin, and therefore better equipped to appreciate my charms, which were not entirely visible to the casual observer. Kathy thought that if you weren't trying to win Kin, you were cheating. I'd once suggested that we both try to win Tom, but it was no good. Kathy pointed to the rules printed on the box top, her lips whitely pressed together. As our relationship was in the delicate healing process, I suggested we stay outside. "Want to play Indian?" I asked. She thought about it for a while, staring off into the distance while I did cartwheels to loosen up. Then she agreed, and we went to the gully to the teepee. Carol and I had, after Christmas, gathered many of the neighbors' thrown-out trees and brought them to the gully to construct living quarters next to the stream. The house occasionally fell down, and constantly lost needles, but on the whole it functioned quite well. It was mainly background anyway, as the bulk of our time was spent foraging for food. After elaborate searches, we would always end up with the same fare: red berries wrapped in green leaves, which were then speared onto a stick and roasted over our campfire. While Kathy and I were busy cooking that day, I noticed the sun getting higher in the sky, and remembered Anna. "I've got to go," I said. "Where?" Kathy asked, annoyed. She was bending over the circle of rocks that made our campfire, trying to stabilize our spit. 2 Y-shaped twigs. I told her about Anna. "But I want to stay down here some more," she said. "Come on." "You can stay," I said. "I want to go." She rose up and the twigs fell down. "I can't stay," she said petulantly. "I can't be down here all alone." "Why not?" "I'd spent hours in the gully alone. Did some of my best thinking here." "Because there are bad boys down here," she said. "My mom told me." One reason that Kathy O'Connor could never be my best friend was that she was always saying ridiculous things like that. Just when you were having a fine time, she'd say something like, "If you swallowed an orange seed, you could die." "You can stay here, Kathy," I said. "There are no bad boys. I have to go." She sighed loudly and followed me out of the gully, maintaining enough distance to clearly communicate her anger. Apparently we were at it again. I didn't mind. Anna was more interesting to play with. Anna was more interesting than playing Indians with Kathy, who never did it right anyway. It was Carol Conroy who was a good Indian, probably because, as she so often pointed out, she was part Indian. "My mother is a Cherokee," Carol once told me. "They can cut stone with their fingernails." I had great respect for Carol's mother after that, and maintained a respectful silence around her. Anna was happy to see me. I had brought no teaching aids along today, and she seemed surprised, but I had a plan. I knew that Artie Miller took daily afternoon walks. I'd seen him often after our meeting at the funeral. I hoped to arrange an accidental meeting between the two of them. I was pleased to see that Anna looked very nice that day, with her hair braided and pinned up over her head, and with her foreign dangling earrings reflecting the sunlight whenever she moved. "Hello, Anna," I said. "Today," here I raised my eyebrows expectantly, "a walk." She waited for me to explain. "A walk," I said. She waited for me to explain. "A walk," I said, and demonstrated walking purposefully around in a circle, taking deep breaths and exhaling vigorously. I held out my arms to her invitingly. "Okay." She opened the back door to yell something in German to her daughter, who yelled back, "Gut, gut," and then we were off. Okay, so that's it for now. In part 2, we're gonna find out what happens on this walk. and whether or not this whole matchmaking thing works out. So yeah, hope you have a good morning, evening, noon, night, etc., etc. Thanks for sticking with me this long. Farewell.